you are saying, Mr. Sinha, that there is a certain level of defiance now which is setting in within the ministers, within the bureaucracy, and which is why these kind of strange developments are happening. And earlier, Modi was in command, he was in the driver's seat, so this was all hidden, nobody knew about it. But all that now is playing up on the forefront.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is exactly what I am saying. And, when such a situation comes and the person who has lost, the prime minister who has lost popular support, tries to stick to his post by, as I said, by hook or by crook, then the people rise. This is a tailor-made situation for people hitting the streets. And when the people hit the streets, chaos follows, democracy is diminished, and anything can happen.
But when people hit the streets, are we going to see a similar scenario? What we saw in Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, the people came, they entered inside the palaces, overthrew the things. Are we going to see a similar kind of a scenario? Or do we have enough safety levers to control that kind of a situation?
Well, I hope the leaders who will be leading these people who will hit the streets will show circumspection, will show maturity, and will not allow those things to happen in India, which we have witnessed in Bangladesh or in Sri Lanka. That there will be chaos, but it will be a controlled chaos.
A controlled chaos, you're saying. But coming back to Prime Minister Modi, what is the kind of situation which you think Prime Minister Modi is going through? Now his birthday is round the corner. We already had the RSS chief talking about the fact that if you've crossed 75 years, then it's time for you to retire. And all these things are precipitated around his birthday. So is the atmosphere ripe for RSS to tell Modi that please now it's time for you to back off and let's bring in a new leader?
They already have. You see, BJP and NDA have a majority in parliament, in Lok Sabha. So there is no threat to the government as far as numbers are concerned, isn't it? The only point is whether Prime Minister Modi will give up his post or not. Now, RSS is saying that you apply the same rule to yourself that you apply to others. I know that personally because I had turned 75 and I decided that I will not contest elections. And I did not contest the 2014 election because this unwritten rule was in the air that those above 75 are not welcome. And those above 75 who did contest Lok Sabha election and got into parliament suffered a very tragic fate because they were part of the government but not part of the government. They had no role to play in parliament. So what I'm saying is this now applies to Mr. Modi. He's turning 75. The rule should apply to him. RSS has already indicated that this rule should be followed. And if Modi does not follow that rule, then again he's an RSS. He and RSS will be at loggerheads, and that's not good for the BJP or the NDA.
No, but despite all these pinpointings and despite all these accusations which are being made against the government, the election commission, do you see any change in Modi? Because when I was listening to Prime Minister Modi when he was in Gaya just day before yesterday or 2 days before, he again was talking about this Ghuspetia, infiltrators, and the PMCM bill. So his arrogance, his high-handedness doesn't seem to change at all. So do you think that he's going to change? He's going to step down? What is your sense, Mr. Sinha, on this?
I will agree with you that it's not easy for him to step down. And it's not easy for him to step down because he realizes he must be in the heart of his hearts, be aware of the fact that he has done so many wrong things that they'll come visiting him after he is no more the Prime Minister of India. So his plan of action will be to go from one post of immunity to another post of immunity. Anything is possible in this country.
So when
Dhankar has
proposed,
shown the way.
so you are
Dhankar has
saying that
shown the way.
no, so you are saying that Prime Minister Modi is seeking another post of immunity so that there is no harm to him. So that post is only the post of the president. So is he looking at that?
He could be looking at that. I'll not be surprised at all if one day, like Dhankar, we hear that Draupadi Murmu has resigned on health grounds and the post of president has become vacant and elections will be held and Modi will become the president of India. I'll not rule it out at all.
No, but I'm just imagining that if at all this scenario turns out to be true, we do not know as of now. But what is happening to BJP as a party within internally? Because there are strong rumblings. I've spoken to BJP leaders on the ground, off the record. They are very, very scared. And they say that we do not know what's going to happen to the party. Earlier, they never used to speak to the media, but now they have started speaking to the media people off the record. And they say that Neeluji, it's very difficult to estimate as of now as to what's going to happen. So, do you see the possibility of BJP getting divided into two parts, like what happened to Congress years back?
I don't rule out any such possibility. Do you remember when the last meeting of the national executive of the BJP was held? I
You're talking
remember
about
when I was in the BJP, we used to have meetings of the national executive.
yes.
Even when we were in government, every 3 months. That is the rule that every 3 months the national executive or the BJP will meet. They will not only meet, but they will also pass resolutions. Now, nothing happens. There is no meeting of the national executive. They can't elect their own president. The BJP organization is in a mess. It's a complete mess organizationally. BJP is in a mess, and people in the BJP who are still important in government or in organization would surely be aware of this. That it's not a democratic party at all. There is no internal democracy in the BJP because the meetings are not taking place where people would have been able to raise their voice. It's a party which has gone to the dogs, and I am very sorry about it because it was such a disciplined party. It was such a forward-looking party at one time under Mr. Vajpayee and Mr. Advani.
But supposing if Prime Minister Modi, and then again it's speculative because we do not know as of now whether Prime Minister Modi will step down or not. But the way the maneuverings are happening at the corporate level, and we all know that uh, at some point of there is a situation where the corporates almost start governing the parties, and this is what is really happening. Whether it is the Ambanis, whether it is the Adanis, they are driving the policy at every level, whether it is the foreign policy or the domestic policy. Who do you think is on the driver's seat right now? Is it Prime Minister Modi and Shah, or is it the corporates which are driving with their vested interests along?
The corporates are, I don't know whether they're driving, but they're playing a very, very important role in the governance process of this country. I'll give you an example. No less a person than the Treasury Secretary of the US came on record to say that in the import of the Russian crude oil, there has been undue profits earned by one corporate house. He put the figure at $16 billion. Now, this is not something which has been even noticed, much less being talked about in the Indian media. But the fact is that we have imported cheaper crude oil from Russia. Our imports have gone up from less than 1% to almost 40%. But the benefit of cheaper products like petroleum, petrol, diesel, etc., have not been passed on to the people of India, to the consumers. They have been, they have just been grabbed by one corporate house. Now, naturally, the other corporate house will be very angry, because if they have made enormous amounts of, or they have been allowed to make enormous amounts of undue profits, then he'll feel left out. He'll also want his uh, part of the pie. So he'll be angry. Doval will be angry because Jaishankar is playing a role. Jaishankar will be angry because Doval is playing a role. There is a complete chaos in the government at this time, and that is an indication of the fact that Modi has lost control. Earlier, it was not possible because he was controlling everything. Now he is not controlling everything. People are aware that he is not controlling everything. People are aware that he has become weak, and therefore they are doing whatever they want to do, or differing with, or picking up enmity with their colleagues.